Dry tonight with a mostly cloudy sky. We'll fall back to 60. In fact, we start out dry tomorrow. Then some scattered showers. A few isolated thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon with a high of 75. Mostly cloudy. Most of the showers on Wednesday will roll across northern Minnesota.
Partly cloudy right now, 74 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Built on facts, powered by curiosity. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
I have a question. I may have a question for you, Susie Jones. Certainly a question for the audience. Welcome to Drive Time. I need to know if I violated like a workplace refrigerator rule. The workplace refrigerator, this is an issue no matter who you are, no matter where you work. And here at WCCO, we do not have that many people who show up on this second floor, but we have a fridge.
Right.
And you occasionally, do you keep stuff in the fridge ever?
Yes.
Dan, do you ever keep stuff in the fridge?
Only very briefly.
On Wednesday, I put a pizza box and a bag that had like salad, chicken wings, number of items. But Wednesday after work, I couldn't take it home. I had somewhere to be. And then same deal Thursday. So I just left it in the fridge. Yesterday, I came back to work thinking I could grab this stuff, take it home for dinner. Gone. Wow. So my question is multifaceted at 651-461-9226. The first rule, did I screw up? Did I leave something in the fridge too long and someone was like, I got to clean this crap out of here?
Well, I want you to know I tend to clean crap out of the refrigerator. I'm not sure if you know that about me, but I like to be tidy. So I
get that. And I think this is why I'm open to the possibility that I screwed this up.
Which is remarkable, isn't it? He's pliable. What I'm trying to say is that Ginny Berg, God rest her, she's not.
She's
gone.
alive.
She's still alive.
Just retired.
She just retired. She had a sign up. Once a month, she was going to come in and clear it out so it didn't get rancid because it can get pretty smelly.
For sure.
There's science projects in there with mold and it's gross. But I must confess, as you continue to get information from your valuable listeners, I must confess I did not throw your pizza away.
All right. That's fair. Thank you.
Yeah, for that input.
I mean, I wouldn't have suspected you.
But do you think that's too long to have stuff in the fridge?
A month, I do.
Well, what about
No.
my scenario?
He was in there for
Wednesday through Sunday.
That was
Sunday.
too short. I think he could have
Should
had a
not
few
have been
more
thrown
days.
away as well.
Correct. I don't believe
I
it.
am somewhat concerned that I am taking up valuable real estate in
Which is
there.
not true. It's not that crowded.
It's not
in
that
there.
crowded because there aren't that many people.
There aren't. And not every, a handful of people I can think of regularly bring a little lunch.
So is it possible then, if we're sort of CSI style trying to figure out what happened here, we're trying to triangulate the situation. Is it most likely that somebody just had a free dinner?
This is what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if someone suspected because
maybe they thought it was common.
Well, I was going to say it is not unusual for us to have pizza here if there's an event.
Right.
Someone could have said, oh, I wonder if that was from an event. I think I'll eat it.
Which is fine. I'm not mad either way, but I mostly am concerned, did I violate a norm?
I don't think you did.
All
There's
right.
a very funny Delbert commercial, the comic strip.
Sure.
And he drinks the pop out of the fridge and said, how come there's no more free pop? And some guy goes, are you the one that's been taking my pop?
I do think the workplace fridge can be a source of conflict.
Oh, huge.
My wife is a manager at her job, and she works here, and her team is in another city.
Okay.
And there was one employee who filed a complaint with her because somebody had put like cigarette ashes all over
What?
because like this guy like takes a lot of smoke breaks.
Wow.
So like you never know what's going on at the workplace. Frey.
No, that's a bad one.
651-461-9226.
How long can you leave?
How long can you leave it?
That's right.
Jason, food pirates exist in every business.
That's true. I take Diet Mountain Dew from PT, but then I put $5 on his chair every once in a while.
I think that's nice.
He knows I do it too. I say, I'm going to steal one.
I'm just curious about the thought process of the person who's like, didn't bring any food today. Wonder what's in the workplace refrigerator.
And
Like,
how
who
long
are
it's
these
been
people?
there.
Right. And you're like, I'm just going to roll the dice. This looks good.
People steal Henry's popcorn. He gets mad about that. Henry
People-
Lake.
Who even, there are like 7 people on this floor on any given day.
Well,
Who are the, of all our hosts, who do you think, who's the most likely to be the food thief on air? 651-461-9226. Carter?
Carter.
It's probably Carter.
I think so.
Because Vanita's vegetarian, so she's not going to take anybody's stuff. Who's coming here with like, potatoes or whatever it is
Right,
that Vanita
right.
Tofu.
Tofu.
Right.
That's my favorite.
Tofu?
No.
I had some tofu. Well, not last night. I was like, what am I going to have for this? Is the Jason DeRusha Father's Day, by the way, coming to work to pick up my leftover pizza from Wednesday.
That was your day yesterday, only to be sadly
And then to be
disappointed.
thwarted. Oh.
You weren't with your children yesterday?
Well, I would say they weren't with me. One is in the Philippines. The other is in New York City. So
They had a good reason.
I guess have a little commitment. They could have flown home.
Such a baloney holiday.
Father's Day.
And Mother's
Were there cards? Was there a phone call? Was there some communication of some sort? Acknowledgement?
Sam sent me a text at 11:01 a.m. our time
Which
on
was?
Saturday, which was 12:01 a.m. Philippines
Yeah.
time.
So
So
he
it
was-
was Father's Day.
So in other words,
Technically.
he set an auto send text.
No, there's
To
a little
go.
back and forth.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Because
As
I
he
was like, thank you from the future. And his response is like, Dad, this is how time zones work. It's like, okay. All right.
My kids always call
Happy
me
Father's Day, by
boomer.
the way. you
Boomer.
moron.
Whenever I say something
Oh.
stupid, they're like, "Hey, boomer." I'll boomer you.
Audrey on YouTube is saying she worked with a guy who clipped his fingernails every morning in his
Yeah.
cube next to her. That's probably worse than stealing food out of
Yeah.
the. I mean, if someone's going to take my leftovers, like, God bless you. Like, it's
But don't leave your clippings on the
no,
floor.
you gotta.
Laura came after me a week or so ago because I put nail polish on in the newsroom. And if
She
you know,
didn't-
she
she didn't
said
care
that
for
is
that.
noxious. Stop
Wow.
doing it.
Wow.
And then I punched her.
Yeah, that's. How's this for noxious? Bam! I like it.
I'm gonna go down the hallway if you don't mind,
Susie Jones, everybody. Thank you, Susie.
because
Back to work.
I feel like that's what I should do.
Probably.
I'll be back.
All right. There she goes. The newsroom is like down the hall. So that's where the news happens.
Such a hurry she couldn't even bother to turn her microphone off. That's the dedication
Well-
of one Susan K. Jones.
Lots of text coming in. We'll share your thoughts. I just, workplace fridge. Is the fridge the most controversial appliance in your company kitchen? Probably not. It's probably the microwave.
I mean, it's on the list, but yeah, microwave probably is still number one.
Someone stole my pizza. I've come to terms now.
A lot of people on the text line that are suggesting it was Chad Hartman. Here's why I would not vote for Chad Hartman.
Okay.
I don't believe Chad's into stealing other people's food. I believe Chad enjoys too much complaining that other people aren't bringing him food. And so to steal someone's food would rob him of the moral justification for stealing or for begging other people for food. Ergo, I don't think it was Chad.
Yeah, in the battle between does Chad want something to complain about versus does Chad want some food?
Not close.
Not close. 651-461-9226. Did I do something wrong? Is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, was that pushing my luck with keeping the pizza? It was a good pizza, too. I mean, that's the rub of it. Sausage, mothership pizza from 50th in France. Drive Time with DeRusha, back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Liberty Mutual customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
So you're thinking about moving, but don't want everyone to know just yet. When you work with the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, you can sell your home privately, even selling off market. You'll get top dollar with the Good Neighbor Agent's vast network and database of thousands of buyers, or list the traditional way and get the most money possible with his marketing. Curious what your home is worth? Learn in seconds. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
England carries genuine expectations this time. A composed striker leads a squad packed with Premier League talent. The three Lions are well organized, physical in midfield, and lethal from set pieces.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Our front paws, hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Lots of texts on the workplace refrigerator rule. We have a policy at work. If you do not label your food with both a name and a date, it will be thrown out. No timeline. Another texter, all food should be initialed and dated. Yeah.
Sounds like they're blaming you.
It does feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 texts saying, put your name and date on it when you put it in the fridge. You know what? First of all, like, screw you guys. Like, how about taking my side for once? Couldn't somebody be on my side one time on this show? Secondly, you're right. That probably would have been a better move by me. I will concede that you guys are right. I used to write on all my pop cans, quote, has been licked by owner. Another texter says, I have to clean out the work fridge every day with 3 shifts, and if it's not labeled, I will throw away your Tupperware. Yeah.
I mean,
but 3 shifts, 1 fridge, you probably have to deal with that, right? With
gotta stay on top of it.
This texter says with a 40% turnover rate, yeah, I'm tossing everything I can out of the fridge. Have you? What does that mean exactly? Staff-wise?
I assume that they're saying that people are leaving the job and therefore, they're leaving stuff in the refrigerator.
Oh, so like, who cares? They might have been fired tonight. That's fair. Another texter says, next time order less. Then you don't have leftover.
That's a potentiality.
Another texter, rules need to be clearly spelled out on the refrigerator door. Cleaning on the same day weekly. Everything gets tossed. Fixed it. People treat the work refrigerator like it is a waste disposal. 100% theirs at home is clean. Another texter, and that's probably like, I'm not that mad about this. And again, like, I'm just more curious if I was to blame. So if someone, well, now here's the other question. And I did consider this, Dan, yesterday. Are you the kind of person that sends out the all staff email when your food goes missing? You know those coworkers. Just wondering if anyone knows what happened to my pizza. You know what I mean?
I think you know how I feel about all staff
Well,
emails.
you don't like any emails, I feel.
No, I have no problem with plenty of emails. I use email all the time.
Do you like emails that come from coworkers, generally speaking?
Not in an all staff format. If there's something a coworker needs from me and they want to email me that, I'm happy to respond.
Yeah.
But the generalized, hey, everybody, look at this thing over here that only affects 3 of you, but we're going to email all 150 of you.
So you don't think I should have emailed to ask? Is it worse that I'm doing 2 segments on it?
No, I think it's great that you're doing 2 segments on it. I mean, the email to me seems superfluous because, I mean, honestly, is the person going to own up to it?
Yeah. And what are you looking for?
Right.
Like,
you want $10 on your chair? Is that what you're looking for?
No, and I don't want anything. I just want...
You want the acknowledgement that you were wronged.
Or that I was wrong. Someone to say, like, you screwed this up.
Here's what you should have done, knucklehead.
Right. I do think that if you took it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because you are a very strange human to go to the fridge and be like... Yeah. Texture, the workplace food scenario is a very funny scenario. Things disappear from our lounge regularly, maybe by accident, says a texter, thinking it was for staff, oftentimes not an accident. I've had my names on things before. Now, my sister, on the other hand, always leaves things in there by accident. She's the one who has the science experiments that end up left behind. She's too embarrassed to even put her name on it, so she puts a fake name. Now, I wish our staff were big enough, right, that there would be some ability to put a fake name on the food that we leave in the fridge and see what people happen. Texter says, Shaletta got me chicken last week, so she took the pizza.
Can't rule it out.
That actually, I mean, look, first of all, I'm not going to be the one who's going to blame the only black woman on our air of being the thief. I mean, is that what you people are trying to set the fishing lure out there and see if I'm going to bite? I'm not doing it.
but it is possible.
You also aren't not doing it.
Well, I think. Actually, I'm not doing it. Just to be clear. Let's break. Father's Day was yesterday. I hope your Father's Day, if you celebrate, was more glorious than my day of coming to work and finding that the leftovers were gone. But I was fascinated by this story I read, taking a look at dads and trying to get to whether or not dads are getting better. Are dads getting better? The data on this is fascinating because there are some ways that dads today are unbelievably better, and there are other ways that maybe we're not moving along in a way that you would expect. The broad question for you that you're welcome to participate in at 651-461-9226, are dads getting better? We're going to visit with a USC professor who has been studying dad brain and how fatherhood actually shapes men's lives. We'll talk with that professor coming up here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Unbelievable opportunities for you at Luther Kia of Bloomington. It's Jason here. So glad to be bringing you stories from our friends at Luther Kia, Dan Dingman, his whole staff out there. Unbelievable. And they've got a brand new facility at 35W and 494 in Bloomington. If you go to my Instagram page right now, you can see a video tour of the new Luther Kia Bloomington. And the reason I think it's worth your time to check that out is that this new facility is all designed to make your life easier. If you're in the market for a new car, they've got it laid out so perfectly. So you can go on their website, lutherkiabloomington.com, see what they have. But then you come in, they're all available for you to test drive. So many of these cars are ready for you to sign and drive home today. And if you're already a Kia customer, their new lounge, their new state-of-the-art service, absolutely beautiful. Luther Kia Bloomington is just top-notch people, top to bottom. And I love my Kia. I've been driving a Kia for 5 or 6 years. Great technology, great looks. And U.S. News and World Report rated them the best cars for the money. Right now, we're all watching how much we spend. Give Kia a shot. If you've never test driven one, get to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Make sure you tell the team you heard about it here on CCO.
The secret to enjoying your commute? Forgetting it's a commute. Yeah, you could focus on all the brake lights and lane closures and cone zones, or take the scenic route. For your brain, take it from us. Traffic's easier when the radio's better. News Talk 830 WCCO, the official cure for the common commute.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word. Everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Protect your family with the Byrna Less Lethal Launcher. Trusted by 700 police departments, government agencies, and security firms. The Byrna Launcher has powerful, non-lethal deterrence. Legal in all 50 states, it requires no background checks or permits and ships right to your door. Visit Byrna.com. BYRNA. Byrna.com.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. Don't miss your chance to save on tech, chairs, custom print, school supplies, and more. It all ends July 4th. Staples, that was easy.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Pins 8-1 exclusions apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Earlier crash has been cleared now for South 35E, the area of Maryland Avenue, but still the slowdowns nonetheless as you come out from Highway 36. Northbound slow as well, moving out of downtown. West 494 near Concord, got a multi-car crash working there. Look, the left lane to be affected and slowing as you make way past Highway 61. If you're going to be traveling up on the north side of the metro, get ready for your slowdowns there. Typical stop for West 694, Matterhorn to 252. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
B&M Tree Service bringing us the latest weather from Chris Schaefer.
Mostly cloudy conditions into the night. Tonight will fall back to 60. Next couple of days, we'll see rain. Scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. There may be a few isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. Highs still running below average, around 75. I think we matched that on Wednesday. Call it mostly cloudy with scattered showers, mainly across northern Minnesota.
Great night right now in downtown St. Paul, where Special Olympics will be taking place. Big event at Allianz Field. It's 78 degrees, mostly cloudy on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Nothing. It just turns into nothing so quickly.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Would a boy like you, like a girl like me? Doesn't matter if we don't know where this leads.
Well, I hope you got a chance to celebrate Dad yesterday on Father's Day. I have two sons. My oldest turned 21 yesterday on Father's Day. Both kids out of town. Kind of weird not having the kids around on Father's Day. This was my first Father's Day with no kids in town. But it did have me reflecting on the role of fathers today. I watched my brother and brothers-in-law as they navigate this world, this environment. And I look at younger dads, and frankly, I think they are doing a better job than I was doing. And I think I did a better job than my dad and his dad did. It's sort of how the world's supposed to work. But I think there also is this desire to step on the gas and redefine what being a partner is like and being a father is like, and sort of, where are we? Are dads doing a better job? Darby Saxbe is a professor of psychology at the University of Southern California. She's written a book called Dad Brain, The New Science of Fatherhood and How It Shapes Men's Lives. And she's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline right now. Professor, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, the day after Father's Day, how do you answer that question? Do you think today's dads are doing it better?
Well, I do think today's dads are putting in more time, and that's certainly what the research is suggesting too. So if you look at time diary studies where you're asking men, how are you spending your time hour by hour, day by day? The amount of time that fathers are devoting to childcare has tripled, almost quadrupled just in the last couple of generations. So compared to baby boomer dads, millennial dads are doing dramatically more hands-on childcare. And if you ask men what's important and meaningful in your life, increasingly they're likely to say fatherhood and my relationship with my kids.
When you have studied the research on fatherhood and on the way that being a father changes a man, you know, all of us think about our own experience. And certainly for me, being a father has taught me, it's taught me to step outside of myself, to think about others, to be more empathetic and compassionate and understanding to the bumps and the challenges and the twists and turns that life bring. What have you found? You found that fatherhood changes more than just sort of that psychological outlook that I just mentioned.
Right. So fatherhood does change our sense of meaning, our sense of purpose, our sense of connection to other people, our values, but it also changes our physiology. So in my lab, we've followed men from their partner's pregnancy all the way through their first year after having a child. We see changes to the structure of their brain. We see changes to their hormones, and we see changes to their health. So we know fatherhood can change our body weight. Dad bod is real. We know that it can change our sleep quality.
Yeah.
So, across a lot of different
all
dimensions.
of those for sure. And
Yep,
exactly.
that
does that show up in the data differently? Like, I always wonder, are things really as different as people feel like they are? You know what I mean? There's this recency bias, and we've all seen it. Every parent thinks that they're like the first to ever go through a lot of these things that are the same. But undoubtedly, society is different today. Some of the social media challenges you have with parenting, the comparing, but weren't our dads comparing to other dads just in different ways? I mean, are things really that different today?
Well, I mean, I think people have been trying to keep up with the Joneses for many generations, but certainly the kinds of pressures that are on contemporary parents are new. So the Surgeon General just a couple years ago released a report saying parenting stress is a public health crisis, that parents have higher stress levels than non-parents, and that those stress levels have been increasing over the last couple decades. And I think it is partially the social media, like you said, like navigating technology and social comparison. You can see absolutely everybody else's standards of living just from your phone. So,
Right.
you may be less content with your own lifestyle, but it's also, we have higher expectations of parents. When I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, I could roam around town on my own and I would ride my bike and be gone all day. And today's kids get a lot more supervision. There is less trust. Kids are less likely to be allowed to just kind of wander in their neighborhoods. And so parents are really on, and I think they feel a lot of pressure to structure their kids' lives with a lot of formal activities, and that takes a lot of time and energy.
Do we know if that approach is going to have positive results for kids?
Well, the evidence suggests that it might not be having positive results because kids feel.
Well, that's
less
what I think, but I'm
confident
an old
yeah.
Gen Xer, so of course I think
Me too.
like the way that
Yeah.
these kids, and by kids I mean millennials, but the way these kids are parenting is, to me, feels very smothering. I know the world can be scary, but part of being a kid is like falling on your face every once in a while. But then I wonder, like, am I just being an old man? Just like my old man probably thought like I was too involved in going to all my kids, sports practices and games and whatever.
Right. I don't think it's all good or all bad, right? I think it's a mixed bag. It comes with more stress. And I think in some cases, kids get less freedom. There's lots of evidence suggesting that they're less social. They're more afraid of failure. They're taking fewer risks. So in some ways, kids are benefiting from more parental investment and more time. And I think, parents are less harsh than maybe they were a couple generations ago. They're a little more on top of their kids' lives in ways that can be valuable. But I also think it's hampering kids' sense of resilience in some ways too.
Darby Saxbe is a professor at the University of Southern California, where a significant portion of the DeRusha family finances are currently being sent for my USC
Oh, nice.
business student who,
Go Trojans.
Yeah, well, based on the amount of money we're spending out there, he's having a great experience too. So it's pretty good. Darby has written a book called Dad Brain. One of the things, Darby, that you found that I found fascinating is that we know that new mothers have a change in hormones in their body when they have that new baby. And that idea that there's this physical bond is there. But you found that new dads who spend a lot of time with their kids have almost identical, is that right? An almost identical change in men's brains and men's hormones too?
Yeah, it's not completely identical, but it's really similar, and there's a lot of areas of overlap. So we see that when men are really involved with their kids and they're devoting a lot of time to parenthood, their brains are changing in really similar ways to moms across a first-time parenthood experience. And we also see dads' testosterone levels shift. Their oxytocin levels are changed by interacting with their kids. Their levels of a hormone called prolactin might be affected as they prepare for parenthood. So a lot of the same hormones that we can measure in moms are showing up, and they're playing a role in dads too. So to whatever extent we're involved in parenting, we have this parental brain and body that helps prepare us to be sensitive caregivers.
Which seems good, right? And we're also in this moment where there's this nationwide obsession with testosterone. But
yeah,
there's some, at least there's a countervailing idea that maybe this temporary reduction in testosterone is a good thing. It makes you more understanding or more empathetic or more of a family man instead of like a, kind of horny college student.
I have a whole chapter in the book about testosterone, what happens to testosterone in new dads. And it's true, we're living in this moment of fascination with supplementing T, having high T levels. We have, even in our politics, people are talking about leaders who are low T. And the point I try to make in the chapter is it's not about high T or low T being good. It's really about, do your hormones help to set you up for the demands of your environment? And if what is needed from a child is your sensitive care and your presence, then high T that's going to make you competitive and going to make you seek out more mates, that may not be helping you. You want high T when it's time to find a partner and you want to have lots of opportunities to reproduce. And then it's natural for T to drop after you've accomplished that goal and it's time to settle in and parent. And T can fluctuate across your lifetime to help support whatever it is that your goal is in that stage of your life.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting because you start worrying about this stuff. Like I went and had my T tested, and by the way, we're fine. I think people have this idea you're high or you're low, and it's like I think most people are probably like, you're fine. Is it better that I know? I don't know. So it's sort of this societal pressure that you need to look at this stuff. Where as you look at fatherhood, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is I do think culturally we talk a lot about right now we're in a moment talking about the importance of family, the importance of having children. Your research really looks at the impact of family on children, the impact of parents, of fathers. Where do you think we're at as a society right now? I feel like we're maybe moving in a good direction, an understanding of like, what, this family stuff matters. Having a strong father, a strong mother, or two strong mothers or two strong fathers, there are ways you can make it happen. But having a strong father does matter.
I think we are recognizing that. And it's interesting, during the pandemic, a lot of men reported that they were suddenly getting more time with their kids than they had had before, because all of a sudden folks are working remotely, you're not commuting a long distance. And instead of those trends in men spending more time with kids, instead of that going back to normal as the pandemic lifted, that uptick has persisted. So men are choosing to spend more time with kids. I think it's interesting that, that rebound you might have expected to see in the data after the pandemic didn't really happen, because I think men had more time with their kids and they said, wait, this is actually fun and this is valuable. And so men are kind of voting with their feet. And I think we are recognizing that having kids is an important way to build a legacy and find some meaning. At the same time, the birth rate is dropping. So lots of people are opting out. So, those trends are moving in different trajectories depending on who you are.
Yeah, that's so interesting because the data, I think I read some data point that was looking at the percentage of, 25 to 45-year-olds who are dads married dads. And in the 80s, it was like 40-something%, and now it's in the low 30s or something like that.
Right.
Like pretty drastic numbers of people opting out, which as a dad, like, look, I don't want to tell people how they should live their life, but being a dad is unbelievable. Like, it's the greatest thing I've done in my life. And being a dad isn't that moment when it's not the moment of fertilization. It is the 21 years of being there for your child.
Yes. Yeah. And I think if men are missing out on that chance, they are losing something valuable that can make your life richer.
Yeah. Really appreciate the research and the time. The name of the book is Dad Brain. Fascinating stuff from Darby Saxbe, University of Southern California. Darby, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
So great to talk to you. Thanks.
Weigh in at 651-461-9226. One texter saying parents are starting to go back to letting their kids roam free. My 5 kids have no personal devices and spend most of the day outside playing, even in winter. I'm definitely hearing much more interest in how do we have our kids spending less time on devices? How do we delay them getting devices? To me, it's no impugnment of anybody did this wrong. It's just we've learned more, and we know that there's benefit to letting those kids be kids without having technology in their face. Drive Time, back in just a minute. Your texts are welcome. Also, some thoughts about turning 21. Having a kid that's 20. You thought I felt old when I turned 50. Having a kid that's 21, I don't know. We'll talk about it when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
The real estate market out there is a mess. It's Jason. Have you been paying attention to what's been going on in real estate? Chris Lindahl has. I've been friends with Chris for a long time. He's a Minnesotan. He cares about this community, and he cares about coming up with ways to make your life easier. And the truth is, listing your home on the open market has never been more of a pain in the butt. Mortgage rates up and down, commissions, what are they going to be? Do I have to negotiate that? Expectations for the buyers are through the roof. And that's because the buyers are in control right now. If you are searching for a home, in certain neighborhoods and certain price ranges, the supply is so small. But the expectations are high as well. It's tricky. That's why the guaranteed cash offer is so appealing. More and more Minnesotans are saying yes to the big red check. They are going to chrislindahl.com, getting the free Smart Seller Guide. So if you are considering selling your home, maybe soon, maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, get to chrislindahl.com. The Smart Seller Guide is free, but more and more people are saying, I don't want the stress. I want to give it to Chris. I want a big red check, and I want the freedom to move on with my life. See if the big red check and the guaranteed cash offer makes sense for you at chrislindahl.com.
We're talking construction law today with Blake Nelson, an attorney from Helmuth & Johnson. Blake, why is having the right legal support so important?
One delay, one payment issue, or one contract mistake can put an entire project at risk and be the difference between making and losing money. In Minnesota, contract terms, timing, and documentation matter.
How does Helmuth & Johnson help?
We help contractors, subcontractors, and property owners protect their rights, get paid, and keep projects moving.
Learn more at hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side, for all your construction law needs.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Oh, no. There are certain sounds every one of us knows. The hum of a breaker that keeps tripping, the gurgle of a drain that should not be gurgling, the drip under the sink, the silence of a water heater that has stopped doing its job. And then you say it. Oh, no. It's Jason DeRusha. That is your moment to call Randy's Electric and Plumbing. For more than 20 years, Randy's has helped Twin Cities homeowners handle the stressful stuff. From electrical repairs, panel upgrades, and rewiring to plumbing repairs, sewer and drain service. They do sump pumps, water heaters, water softeners, filtration systems, and EV charger installs. Randy's licensed pros arrive prepared. They're going to explain your options clearly and give you honest pricing before the work begins. That's an oh yes. With same-day repairs, 2-hour arrival windows, and alerts when your technician is on the way, you'll know help is coming. When an oh no moment hits your home, don't panic. Call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work, and they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy. Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mira Fiber Gummies.
Objection!
It's true. Mira Fiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support, all in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mira Fiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mira Fiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Slow down the plate traveling into downtown Minneapolis for West 94 as you make way past Cedar Avenue over to the Lowry Hill Tunnel. North 35W slows into the downtown stretch as well as you come up from up the area of 32nd Street. Traveling crosstown eastbound, get ready for slowdowns there, Tracy Avenue to 35W. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Weather brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan. It is a DeRusha Delight Day, no doubt about it. Absolutely beautiful out there right now. Tonight, it's going to be nice, mostly cloudy, low of 70. Tomorrow, those scattered showers in the afternoon, high of 75. Same deal Wednesday, but those showers are likely going to be to the north, high 75 again. Average high is 81. Right now, it's 78 in Brooklyn Park on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you remember what you did on your 21st birthday? Was 21 a big deal? Was 21 a big deal? I was thinking about this because my oldest, Seth, turned 21 yesterday. 21 on the 21st, also on Father's Day. All the feels. And when I was in college, like I was goody two-shoes. So I didn't really drink. I know. Going to college in Milwaukee and not being a drinker, what a waste. What a waste of opportunity. So I didn't drink. And I had a girlfriend who was a year younger than me. So on my 21st birthday, I remember going like to Walgreens on the Marquette campus, buying a bottle of wine because I could, right? Like I could finally use my driver's license and buy alcohol. I didn't have a fake. So what I also didn't have was a corkscrew. So I remember this apartment building that I lived in at Marquette University, and Alyssa didn't have a corkscrew because we were both goody two-shoes. So I spent part of my 21st birthday knocking on friends' doors, trying to see if they had a corkscrew so I could open a bottle of wine And that was it. That's what I did. Now, Seth went to an all-you-can-eat sushi and all-you-can-drink place, which is very New York City. He used his passport because he has like a temporary driver's license right now waiting for the, you're a big boy ID to show up. I feel like, I don't know, is underage drinking much more prevalent today than it was when we were kids? Or was I just that big of a nerd? Because I feel like the turning 21 is less of a big deal for kids today because they have a fake and they do their thing. And
well, don't all the studies say that fewer kids are underage are drinking at this point? That number is going down? So then 21 wouldn't be as big of a deal?
Yeah, maybe. At 21, I was taking the Applebee's on Snelling and University, 2 beers, and they had me home by 8 p.m. See, that's the other thing. Like, my wife texted Seth that she was sorry that we weren't with him to celebrate, but then added that, like, not that I think you want your parents with you when you turn 21. Another
picked up on that one, did she?
Another texter says, I'll never forget my 21st birthday. It's when I met my now ex-wife, which cost me a fortune in more ways than one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's rough.
Youch. I have almost no memory of my 21st birthday, but I remember my brother's 21st birthday.
And
we celebrated slightly differently. I'll just leave it at that.
See, Joe here says he was a teen in Rapid City. The drinking age for 3-2 beer was 18. So you could go to beer-only bars. Yeah. And then in college, the year was 19. My parents, I think 18 was the age, so 21, I don't know. The drinking age probably should be 18. Let's be real. Continental Diamond time check right now, 3:58.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-535-1582. 800-535-1582. Again, that's 800-535-1582.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
More than just news. It's the why behind the headlines. News Talk 830 WCCO. 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. Peace negotiations between the U.S. and Iran remain fragile, but both sides say progress was made on the first round of talks. The U.S. government also issued a 60-day waiver for sanctions on Iranian oil, and talks now shift to Iran's nuclear program.
Vice President Vance announced in Switzerland earlier Monday that Iran agreed to let international nuclear inspectors into the country. Now, President Trump is weighing in, writing on social media that Iran will have to, quote, agree to have major weapons inspections in order to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future. Inspections were included in the nuclear agreement reached with Iran during the Obama administration in 2015. President Trump pulled the U.S. out of that during his first term, and Iran then began limiting inspections. Karen Travers, ABC ABC News, the White House.
More fallout over the multi-million-dollar renovation of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. In addition to an algae problem, President Trump, without evidence, is blaming vandalism for the peeling blue paint. He says repairs will begin this week. Powerhouse producer and record executive Clive Davis has died. He's credited with discovering and nurturing some of the biggest musical icons over the past 60 years. ABC's David Packer has more.
Clive Davis was once dubbed the music executive with the Midas touch for finding talent during his time at CBS Records and then with his own company, Arista Records. In a 2013 interview, Davis talked about his greatest find, Whitney Houston.
She had 7 number ones in a row. Her first album sold 22 million around the world.
Davis's catalog of artists, besides Houston, include Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind & Fire, Barry Manilow, Billy Joel, and Jennifer Hudson. Clive Davis was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000 in the non-performers category.
Bruce Springsteen says Davis changed his life at the age of 22, signing him to Columbia Records. The boss called Davis a great man. Clive Davis was 94. His family says he died from age-related illness. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 75 degrees at 4:02. I'm Susie Jones. Reaction this afternoon after a federal judge blocked a handful of subpoenas targeting Minnesota officials. Back in January, the U.S. Department of Justice tried to obtain records from Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, and other local officials during Operation Metro Surge. The judge saying in the ruling the investigation into the alleged obstruction during the surge was an attempt to harass them. Mayor Frey reacting to the decision.
Criticism of a government is not a crime, and that a Department of Justice was weaponized to try to push elected officials to do what that administration wanted, is deeply concerning.
The judge said in the ruling the DOJ's investigation was politically motivated, unconstitutional, and without merit. Twins fans heading to the game tonight will be faced with a picket line, but that won't necessarily mean you can't buy a hot dog.
Delaware North officials say there will be no disruption to concessions operations, and booths will be staffed with temporary workers, recent hires, nonprofit partners, managers, and other staff. In a statement, Delaware North says it continues to engage in contract negotiations with union members, and the company remains committed to reaching a fair agreement. The next bargaining session is scheduled for Tuesday, June 23rd, and a federal mediator has been requested to assist the process. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
New life for an old building in South Minneapolis. The old Wells Fargo home mortgage campus has been purchased and is expected to become known as Iconic Plaza.
The deal to purchase the 27-acre campus was closed last week, and already some retail outlets are finalizing leases. Dean DeValis is CEO of Navarro Development.
And all these pieces pulled together within this campus. So the idea is that this is now going to be drawn in as a part of Minneapolis. As before, it was sort of a private corporate campus. Now it's going to be part of the Phillips neighborhood and integrated very much. So that's what's exciting.
How ready is the site? The existing kitchens are operational, and there are 4,000 parking spaces. Some of the buildings will be converted into 1,250 housing units. In South Minneapolis, Al Schock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
MnDOT is giving St. Paul commuters a way to keep up with the upgrades being made to the I-35E bridge near downtown.
A new public webcam is now archiving real-time images every 15 minutes, allowing residents to monitor the full history of the ongoing I-35E infrastructure project. MnDOT spokesperson Kent Barnard says he hopes the increased transparency will encourage drivers to stay alert and adjust their morning commutes near the work site.
They could take a look at the camera and they can say, oh, well, in the last 15 minutes, traffic is backed up, or hopefully they'll say, wow, look, traffic's moving so smoothly on the I-35E. I don't have to worry about getting to work on time.
He says once the aging bridge is fully replaced later this fall, crews will focus on preparing for a secondary phase of concrete repairs slated for 2027. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads. and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
You're going to find things running a little bit slow as you travel north 494 as you come up toward Bass Lake Road into the Fish Lake interchange. West 94 slows, Hemlock Lane, and over to Weaver Lake Road. If you're going to be traveling west 694, get ready for your slowdowns there as you make way towards Central over to 252. And 10 eastbound, seeing some slowing as you move between County Road J and 35W. Save on organics at Whole Foods Market. Get organic red cherries for $4.99 per pound with Prime through June 23rd. Top your yogurt bowls and make a delicious summer cobbler. While supplies last, shop and store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by JTR Roofing. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We stay dry tonight with a mostly cloudy sky. We'll fall back to 60. In fact, we start out dry tomorrow. Then some scattered showers. A few isolated thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon with a high of 75. Mostly cloudy. Most of the showers on Wednesday will roll across northern Minnesota.
Right now we have partly cloudy skies. 75 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Asking better questions, getting better answers. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Hey, roofers, stop calling my kid's cell phone. I know the hustle is tough when you're out there trying to sell replacement roofing to people who... Are the vultures out from the hailstorm last Monday? Are you guys seeing this? Seth just texted me.
From Friday.
Seth is in New York City. But, you know, we have a family plan. I don't know how people are getting phone numbers today. But Seth says he's had like 10 calls today from Minnesota roofing companies asking to talk to me. Is that legal? Are you allowed to just randomly call someone? Maybe it's because I wonder if it's because I think I'm on the do not call list. Maybe he isn't. So they're just calling. I don't know. I wonder if I signed Seth up, if, you know, there was some sort of contest and I just put his phone number in instead of mine. And now it's never ending scamorama. Well, be careful out there. You know, if you're in an area where there was hail, you should be making the call. You know, like who the reputable companies are. You can always text or email me. I'll give you the name of a couple of companies, but I don't know, an incoming call. I would be nervous about that. I'll tell you what. Okay, I want to talk about the flag debate. Actually, check that. I wish I never in my life spent another second talking about the flag debate. But I have come around to the idea that, look, some people are mad about the Minnesota flag because it's just a chance to sort of express frustration at the Democrats, that the Democrats were in charge of both state houses. The Democrats were in charge of the governor's office. And so it feels like the Democrats shoved this down our throats. But I want to zoom out a bit because there is part of the response to the new Minnesota flag that I find very interesting. My question is this: do you wish that you got a vote? Should we replace the Minnesota flag? Yes or no? Do you wish you got to vote on that? 651-461-9226. I ask the question because I do think the way that we run our politics today is the same way that we ran our politics in the hear ye, read all about it, extra sort of era of our world. Today, we have the ability to weigh in on topics instantly, constantly. You can vote for your favorite American Idol singer. You can vote for your top 10 names for MnDOT snowplows. We get to weigh in on everything. And so the idea of electing people to represent you every 2, 4, or 6 years, and then letting them do their thing, I wonder if that is how we would design our government today. Right? Now, I know I don't expect to be asked to weigh in on everything that government does, but do you wish there were more opportunities to weigh in on issues like that? Because I have a talk show. I have the ability to weigh in on this stuff all the time. You have social media, perhaps. You have an ability to weigh in, but no one's going to necessarily listen or hear it. What if we had a system where, it wasn't a binding vote, but you could put things up to a vote and see what people had to say?
Isn't that what polling data is supposed to be, essentially?
Maybe, but I don't think people also look at a poll of 1,000 folks. Someone has to pay for it. So do we have enough of those polls being done on these types of issues? I don't think so. You get a Star Tribune Minnesota poll every once in a while. But we don't have referenda really in this state. And that's not exactly what I'm proposing. I don't know that I want to turn a lot of these issues over to like a binding referendum. But I do wonder if there were ways for people to weigh in on stuff and say like, yeah, I think this is a good idea. If you ask the questions correctly, you might get useful information. To me, part of the reaction, and the reason there's an enduring reaction, and I'll confess I was dismissive of this at the beginning. So if you are also dismissive of the anger around the flag, I invite you to join me on the side of the converted. Not that I'm converted into thinking we need to go back to the old flag. I don't. But I do think people feel disrespected and ignored, and they feel like government is happening to them, not that they're a participant in it. And we can look at the reasons for that. And some of it is just, look, when you're on the losing side, of course you feel like things are happening to you instead of you getting a voice. But I just wonder in an era where we have an ability to ask people anything and get tens of thousands of responses, if you ran for governor, wouldn't it be a cool thing to say like, I'm going to send out a poll once a month on a certain topic and ask what you guys think we should do? I mean, if you think about it, the idea of representative democracy, it was supposed to make life easier for us. You elect these people who are like sort of aligned with you on many issues, but then you trust them to go figure it out. Today, do you trust them to figure it out? I don't know. I don't know that we do. Should we be able to vote on these things more? 651-461-9226. Do you want more direct democracy? Is sort of the nerdy political science way of thinking about it. We have a representative democracy where you vote for elected officials, but I don't think anybody voted thinking, I want these people to, replace the flag. Like that just wasn't an issue that anybody was thinking about. And that is that's part of life. You elect people, they do what they want to do. I'm just saying, if you designed a system today, wouldn't you have some element of direct feedback? We don't. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong in this, but I don't think we as the citizens have much of an opportunity to weigh in on stuff. You can do the old ways, right? You can email your representative. You can, maybe some reps poll their Facebook crowd. I'm talking about something a little more official, a little more reliable. I don't want to go to regular elections where we have like online voting. I'm not even proposing like California style referendum where you weigh in on stuff and then that becomes the new law. That's not what I'm suggesting. What I am saying is we have the ability to set up I vote for like all these like boards of directors for investment funds that I have no idea what they're even talking about. And you get like a special code. We vote in union elections here where you get a special code. Like there would be a way if you wanted it to be super reliable. But I think it'd be useful to even have like, if some sort of address verification, you type in your Minnesota address and then get to weigh in on stuff.
Reliable in terms of it being, fair and secure. I agree. You can do that. What I thought of immediately when you said about elections being reliable was, would this be representative sample? We know that, in a general election, when it's a presidential election, that's when most people show up. Off years, less people show up. Yeah. Primaries, fewer people show up. Endorsement conventions, fewer people show up. And the more that you reduce the number of people who show up, I think the less representative of the populace as a whole you get. And so where I would question the reliability of the system that you're proposing is it a representative enough sample to have it be anything worthwhile in terms of informing public policy?
It's a fair question. Like, I don't know, right? I'm not a pollster. Do I think you could design a system that would be better than what we have now, which is this feeling that no one cares what regular people think about certain issues.
Sure.
And maybe people only, maybe this is impossible because the only things that people want to vote on are things that like you're suddenly upset about. So do you want to vote on maybe some more difficult issues, right? Like, should we cut health benefits for seniors or health benefits for children? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think like that, laying out some of the more difficult choices would also be educational and useful.
I think if you want to get into redesigning the system, I'm not sure if it's so much a participatory issue as it is a money issue, right? Who are the politicians going to listen to? The people that are lining their coffers.
Right.
And since we had a system that apparently money is now speech, and it's coming from everywhere all at once with very little notion of who's giving what where, I don't blame people for thinking, hey, wait a minute, I'm not getting listened to because I'm not writing a huge check to this politician. So if you want to reframe the system, you put a system that has very narrow and defined periods of running, and you have it publicly funded. No outside funds. You want to get people's opinions to matter. That's how you get people's opinions to matter, in my opinion.
Lots of texts coming in. Mark on YouTube saying, put it on the ballot, vote for it. Another YouTube commenter says, we have been and continue to be disrespected and ignored on far greater issues than the flag. Andrew correctly points out, and there a lot of texters are saying what I originally thought. And like a texter from 312, the flag issue had plenty of opportunity for feedback. Then people said we had no opportunity for feedback. But Andrew points out, I watched all the debates. I like the new state flag. However, at the end of this, the committee started redesigning the winning flag, and it wasn't a fair process. I do think that's right. There was an opportunity for feedback. There was a chance to weigh in on the finalists. There was a chance to submit your own flag. It was a pretty open process in that standpoint. And at the end, the committee took a couple things, did here's a little column A, a little column B, and they made their own flag. So it feels like the committee's flag instead of we had a process and here was the flag. I do think the flag, I don't know, man. Like, for me, it's just a flag. It's just not that big of a deal. But I think it is a big deal, partially because of what I'm getting at, that people feel ignored. And my question to you is, do you really want to vote? Do you want to vote on this and other things? Lots more text coming in. We'll share some of your reaction to this on what we should vote on. What besides the flag would you want to vote on? 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
There's a great picture on the J.H. and Sons Instagram this weekend showing all the generations of Halberstadts and their kids. It's Jason here. I love J.H. and Sons. If you want to give their Instagram a follow, and I'm showing their Instagram page right now on our YouTube channel, WCCO Radio. But you see these generations of Halberstadts. And the first Halberstadt store in St. Cloud, which then became J.H. and Sons in Edina at the Galleria. And these multi-generations of Halberstadts have been keeping Minnesotans looking great for more than 50 years. J.H. and Sons at the Galleria is my men's clothing headquarters. It is the premier men's clothing store in the Twin Cities. You get to J.H. and Sons, you're going to see unbelievable suits, unbelievable sport jackets, and then there's a terrific selection of date night clothing. So it's not just for special events. It's to make every night feel special. Experience the service difference, too. It's just something different about a family-owned business. jhandsons.com. Sign up for their email list. But most importantly, get to the Galleria in Edina. Plenty of parking. Say hi to my friends at J.H. and Sons.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
That's my favorite thing to do.
It is one of my 2 or 3 favorite things to do, whether it's in the office, it's in town.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing better.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you really want to vote on more issues, or are people just reacting to an issue that they didn't get the way they wanted? So the reaction is, well, how come we didn't get to vote? That's what we're talking about this half hour on Drive Time with DeRusha. 651-461-9226. Kathy says, I think people are so busy they don't follow and understand all of the work and all of the opportunities involved in all these issues. Also, the lack of information on issues involved may be aggravated by the lack of newspaper, especially local ones. It is a lot of time and work to follow all issues. I think that's right. I mean, what I find fascinating is that there's more of an outcry to have a vote on the flag than there is on what your local property tax is going to be, or what the state income tax levels are going to be, or what we're going to spend on X, Y, and Z. So some of this is sour grapes that we didn't get our way. Some of this is just frustration at the Democrat trifecta. And the flag is a symbol for other things that people feel like was shoved down their throat. So all of these things are in the soup. But to me, I do think that like if I ran for governor in this state, I would be figuring out ways to get the people involved, not just my people, but getting Minnesotans in general. And look, if you don't want to, you don't want to. That's fine. But if you want to express your opinion, should there be a more digital friendly, modern day era way of doing that? I feel like there should be. Texters say, I genuinely don't think politicians care what you think once they're elected. My favorite system was when I lived in Arizona. You could bypass the politicians and get your own bills on the ballot. Another texter says, how about letting us vote on gun control? Yeah, I think that's what I'd love to hear from you guys. A lot of people are saying they would like to vote. They would like to vote. One texter saying there are some issues that all citizens should have a vote. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I want to turn everything over to everybody because I don't expect you to know what the right thing to do to save HCMC is. I don't expect the average person out there to have invested the time to figure out most of the things that politicians have to deal with, right? And one texter is saying, look, like, are we going to have people vote on, like, should we repave 35E? Should the governor get a haircut? What is the length of mowing the lawn on government property? Like, I get it. Texter says people will always be butthurt when it does not go their way. Stop it. Get over it. The new flag is good. I get that. I get that reaction too. But I think the polling indicates that this is beyond just people who maybe are hanging on to the old way of doing things. I think the Star Tribune poll showed that 30% is it as far as the number of people who like the new flag. And just because you don't like the new flag doesn't necessarily mean you want to go back to the old flag. But a lot of Democrats don't like the new flag. So it's just not 100% the butthurt in this scenario. It just isn't.
No, I do think, though, that it isn't so much about the flag itself either. I mean, I think most of this, some of it is aesthetic, sure. But most of the vitriol that really is driving this centers around that bigger issue that you talked about of people thinking that they're not being heard, that their opinion isn't being factored in, that they're not being adequately represented. So back to your original point, do we want to vote? So the trouble is, it sounds good, right? Well, everybody should have a say. It sounds great, right? Oh, but we don't want to be California. We don't want to vote on everything. Well, okay, but then how do we pick what we do and don't vote on? Who gets to pick that? And then that becomes immediately a political football. While the Democrats think we should be voting on these things, the Republicans think we should be voting on those things. How do you even begin to draw lines? And even in your idea of, well, this isn't an automatic policy implementing vote, but it's a way to give representatives a more accurate idea of how people actually feel. If are representatives going to go with that then? Or how are they bound to use that?
To me, they're not, and they shouldn't be. But
is that going to satisfy anybody though?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got to press a button and give the vote, but it's not being listened to. So what the heck's the difference?
But what you're presenting is an impossible scenario. What you are expressing is perhaps true, that there's no way to make people happy. And maybe there is no way to make people happy. But I maintain in 2026, the fact that the only way you really have to weigh in on stuff is by like finding a babysitter for your kids, getting a day off work, hoping to have 2 minutes to testify in a hearing. To me, that just seems crazy. That we really have no formal way to gather public information. And we've sort of just accepted this idea that, like, well, we got to find politicians who are exactly on with my opinion on everything. I just don't think that's a very reasonable way of public participation in the process. And what I'm proposing is a minor step. I concede that. What I'm proposing is at least an invitation, an acknowledgement of saying, we work for you. We do care what you think. When you vote for me on one day, I don't expect you to have figured out how I am going to feel on every issue as it comes up in the future. So my job, yes, is to represent my views, but my job is also to represent your views. And how do we know what people's views are unless we ask? Texter says, how about letting us vote on gun control? That would be another issue where I think asking people like, okay, if you're going to change gun laws, would you be in favor of banning an assault weapon? These are assault weapons. See where people think on stuff. I don't want to give people a direct referendum, but I do want people's voice to be more easily expressed for politicians. Let's break. In a minute, what do we want to talk? What do we want to talk about? Joe Tamburino is going to join us at 5:00. So we are going to talk a couple big news stories going on today. We've got Joe Tamburino is going to join us to talk about the federal judge who said basically that the Department of Justice indictments, or subpoenas rather, the subpoena of the governor, of the attorney general, of a couple of mayors was a giant kind of shady, outrageous, blatantly unlawful and unethical use of the grand jury process, is the quote. Oof. Joel will tell us what that all means coming up at 5:00. Drive Time with DeRusha back in just a minute. Here I am.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. Control of Group L is in the balance in Foxborough as England faces Ghana in a matchup of two sides that won their openers. England was very impressive in scoring 4 times against Croatia, with Harry Kane recording a brace. In the other half of the group, Croatia faces Panama, with both teams coming off losses. I'm Mike Conti.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
You can do this. Why? Because no one cares more about your money than you. Right now, many have concerns about their retirement, their investments. Are these mutual funds a poor investment? Did you know that with the average fees of 2%, you could be missing out on upwards of half of your potential retirement dollars? That's pretty high for management, especially when 75% of these funds underperform the market. At Trading Academy, our mission is to empower you to take control of your investments. Text investing to 210-210. Take control of your financial future. Maybe it's to just have a better conversation with your broker. Sign up for a free investing class, local classrooms, one-on-one mentoring, how to protect your investments against inflation. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Chad back here with you on insurance for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, And I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811, and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Ins 8-1 exclusions apply.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Slowdowns plates traveling crosstown eastbound, moving past Gleason over 235W. Eastbound 494 gummed up West Bush Lake Road 235W. If you're going to be traveling up on the north side of the metro, find your slowdowns place as you make way west 694 from Matterhorn to 252. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by B&M Tree Service. It is a beautiful day today. Some changes coming, though. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Mostly cloudy conditions into the night. Tonight will fall back to 60. Next couple of days, we'll see rain. Scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. There may be a few isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. Highs still running below average, around 75. I think we matched that on Wednesday. Call it mostly cloudy with scattered showers, mainly across northern Minnesota.
78, mostly cloudy in St. Paul on CCO.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Toy Story 5 this weekend, and the number one song in America is a song that, well, the Star Tribune today said might be the best Pixar movie song ever. So from you, I want to know, what is your favorite Pixar movie song? 651-461-9226. Here's a little bit. of Taylor Swift, kind of going back to a country vibe again.
Memorize the sound of your barefoot steps. Running wild, it's been a long time. Life has ways of leaving those days behind. But seeing you tonight, I remembered I loved you. Came back when it mattered, I saw you standing there in the light of the window wearing that same smile.
It's so good. It's so good. You just have to own it, Dan. I know you're not a Swiftie. You're not anti-Taylor.
I'm not anti. Actually, I have a great respect for Taylor Swift. I think she's an incredible businesswoman and by all measures a wonderful human being.
What every artist wants to hear.
I mean, I think she's just her music.
Yeah,
doesn't personally speak to me.
Is it because you don't have the soul of like a 32-year-old woman?
Because I'm a Gen X male. I don't know. It doesn't.
Why does it touch me so?
I don't know, but it doesn't for me. Again, I don't hate it. It just it doesn't appeal to me. So this to me just sounds like again for me every other Taylor Swift song I've ever heard.
Wow.
This kind of does.
I'm going to clip that comment tomorrow.
Go for it.
Put that out on the DeRusha Show TikTok account. And maybe Bring Me the News will write a story about you this week.
They'll come for me this time.
WCCO radio producer Dan Cook says Taylor Swift is a great how do they could make it sound sarcastic? I don't know. Be good. I think it's a really catchy song. I love this story behind it. So like they sort of reached out to her trying to get her to write a Toy Story song. And it was kind of a back and forth through her people. And then there was a letter that a producer wrote to Taylor. And anyway, the story goes that Taylor Swift saw the movie. She went and saw Toy Story 5 at like 10 a.m. And then she was so inspired, she went home, wrote the song, did the vocals by 7 p.m. that same night. Disney CEO is coming to hear the song at 6:57. She posted on Instagram that in 2 hours, Tom from Pixar and Disney CEO Bob Iger is coming to hear the song. Pretty cool. That type of, like, you see the movie, you're so inspired, you're like, bam, I'm going to write the song. Now, when you think of iconic Pixar songs, though, at 651-461-9226, and we were talking about this today, Dan, I think it's tough to beat. It's tough to beat. What if you're a Gen Xer and you saw Cars? Now, does it count when it's like a remix? But this Rascal Flatts version of Life is a Highway, it's so good. I mean, you got Mater and you got Lightning McQueen. You got to turn left to go right. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, Dan, when we talked about this before and you said iconic, if you're going to pick an iconic song, iconic Pixar, there's a number one and then everything else, right?
Well, you said that one was tough to beat. I think that one's actually easy to beat. The heavyweight champion, of course, is this one right here.
Miles and miles from a nice warm bed. Old pal said, you got a friend in me. Pretty great. There's something about
That's a classic.
Yeah.
And it's a classic because it's Randy Newman as a
Yes.
songwriter, and it's also a classic because it's Randy Newman as a performer.
The Randy Newman-ness
Exactly.
of that vocal
Don't ask me
performance.
what it is, but everybody just heard it and everybody knows exactly what we're talking about.
Easy to imitate maybe, but you could never you think about that sound the first time, like, that a music executive was like, "Yep. Sign it." It's kinda interesting to me. Jonathan on, YouTube agrees. "You Got a Friend in Me" is the best song. And texture saying no other artist, Mark says that, no other artist would get this attention. And that is correct. Yeah, like Taylor Swift is the biggest celebrity in the world.
Because she's earned it.
Biggest in the world.
I mean,
Now
she's earned it as much as anybody can earn something like that.
now a texter says, "Remember Me." So now I don't think I saw Coco. Did you see Coco?
No, I haven't.
Remember Me is another song that has been on some of these lists as a sort of iconic. Is this it? Let's see if I got it. I mean, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. That won Best Original Song at the 90th Oscars. So there you go. Actor says, "If you don't cry, you have no soul." The power of a song and the connection with a movie, it's undefeated, right? There is something about watching an incredibly crafted story, and then at the right time, bam, in comes the song. And you just think, like, for me, that Taylor Swift wrote this song in a couple hours.
Yeah.
You think, first of all, what a gift. Like, I wish I could create in that way. But to be able to, like, feel the soul of the movie and distill it for
And it's not just
amazing.
not even necessarily entire songs. It's just music, right? Like I
Yeah.
can do 2 notes and you will know a film that I'm talking about. 2 notes. If I go bum bum,
Yeah, right. Yes, Jaws.
boom, 2 notes. So it's the way our brains connect things like that is just amazing, the wiring of it.
Today is National Onion Ring Day.
Overrated.
Dan says overrated. I say underrated. Onion rings. The battle royale. You can weigh in at 651. Actually, tell me where to go for the best onion ring. Let's be specific. Don't just tell me where to go. Tell me where to go for the best. Some of you have been telling me where to go for some time. 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
4th of July is coming. Summer is in full swing, and Livia wants this to be your best summer ever. It's Jason. For my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers, the question for you to think about right now is about the kind of changes that you can make in your life. You know, Livia, people come to because they want to lose weight. That's why I reached out to Livia almost 4 years ago. But what I got from my experience with Livia was way more than losing a couple of pounds. Oh, my goodness. It really was about making a decision that could lead me to feel my best. Right now, Livia is offering 8 weeks free when you join today. So the question is, how do you want to feel this summer? 8 weeks Many Livia clients lost 20 pounds or more. So you think about being down 20 pounds. When I lost my first 20, already I had more energy, more confidence, better health. I ended up losing 45 pounds and keeping that weight off. And that is what Livia specializes in doing. Reach out today. Get that 8 weeks free. See how Livia can change your life. LIVEA.com or 855-GO-LIVIA. Make that one decision today. It's real people like me. It's real support. And it's real results at Livia.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. But I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRusha for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Heat Prepper Log Day 12. I trained the dog to fan us with a pizza box.
Or get a $59 AC tune-up from Apollo Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Just visit callapollo.com.
The air is cool now thanks to Apollo, but the dog ate the pizza.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
West 494, seeing some slowdowns. 24th Ave, heading up toward France Avenue. Traveling crosstown westbound, got some slowdowns. Make way towards Cedar Avenue. Cedar North slows between 66 and the crosstown itself. Sherry Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan bringing us the weather forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy, low of 60 tomorrow. Scattered showers in the afternoon. Isolated thunder, high of 75. We'll do it again on Wednesday. Those showers mainly expected to go to the north. Average high is 81. So we're a little cool, but I'm not complaining. Are you? 76 in Woodbury feels pretty good here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think it's absolutely flawless. Whoever's idea was that is a genius.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history.
Happy National Onion Rings Day. When I see on a menu that you get to pick your side, if onion rings are an option and French fries are an option, personally, I'm going onion rings. Dan Cook, you say onion rings are
foul, disgusting, mushy messes.
I feel like you're going to the wrong places.
It's entirely possible.
I mean, a good onion ring. Now, here's the problem with the onion ring. Sometimes you bite into the onion ring and then the whole onion comes out and you're left with a pile of breading. Not great. I asked you at 651-461-9226, where are the best onion rings? Minnetonka Drive-In, says one texter. Brian from Circle Pines says Lino Lakes American Legion. I do love a good Legion. So, Brian, I'm putting that on my list. Red Cow, says a texter, closed on Mondays, or I go get some. I don't hate Burger King's onion rings. I'm not sure I've tried.
Honestly, in my life, those are the only ones I could ever even remotely stomach.
The Burger King one.
Which probably is not a ringing endorsement of them coming from me, but.
Joe Tamburino, where are you on onion rings?
I like onion rings, but I got to say, I'd rather have French fries.
Yeah.
I think French fries over onion rings, no doubt about it.
It depends on, I guess I feel like I can get French fries everywhere. So like the onion ring as an option is exciting to me. Another texter says Culver's, Gordy's Hi-Hat and Cloquet, Snuffies, Porky's. It sounds like I'm just reading names of porn movies here is what's happening.
Afternoon.
I don't know what's going on. My goodness. Continental Diamond brings us the time check at 4:57. So does Gordy's and Snuffies and Porky's. ContinentalDiamond.com if you want to check out the best pre-owned watch selection in town. ABC News and then Joe Tamburino after break.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year. So do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. Don't miss your chance to save on tech, chairs, custom print, school supplies, and more. It all ends July 4th. Staples, that was easy.
Still live, still local, still listening. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Talks are progressing on a final peace deal between the U.S. and Iran following weekend meetings in Switzerland. Negotiations now shifting, the U.S. says, to more technical aspects, including Iran's nuclear program. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burrich is in Switzerland with more.
J.D. Vance saying that the most exciting thing, in his words, has been the fact that the Iranians have agreed to allow
UN nuclear inspectors back into the country. The vice president saying that is a first step in terms of ending Iran's nuclear program, but still clearly a lot of progress and hard work to be done.
Iranian state media reporting officials say Iran made no new nuclear commitments and said that Tehran did not negotiate over its nuclear program during the 18-hour discussions and did not agree to any new commitments. During an executive signing meeting today, President Trump weighed in on the problems with the renovations of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The president claims there is proof of vandalism, saying people may have used some type of knife, he says, to cut the blue paint that's peeling.
Yeah, we have proof. Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof?
The president says the Park Service has made 5 arrests. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more on the multi-million-dollar project.
The company that applied the coating says it identified some areas of the pool that require repairs and confirmed that it will need to be drained. That company, along with a water purification business that's owned by a longtime donor to President Trump, bypassed the traditional bidding process that's typically used to do work on national parks.
World Cup action today, including a history-making match between Argentina and Austria. Lionel Messi set a new World Cup record for all-time scoring with 18 goals, helping Argentina beat Austria 2-0. On Wall Street today, stocks ending mixed with SpaceX falling, shares dragging on tech. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 79 degrees at 5:02. I'm Susie Jones. Happening this hour, a strike of concession workers outside the Twins ballpark. WCCO Radio's Taylor Rivera is there with more from the scene. Taylor, what do the workers want?
Yeah, Susie, I'm here near the massive picket line outside Gate 34 where workers are demanding higher wages, among other things, in a dispute with employer Delaware North, marking what organizers are calling the first Major League Sports stadium strike in Minnesota history. The strike comes during a high-attendance game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Suites attendant Roxy tells me she hates seeing fans being put in the middle.
A lot of the companies that I work with are clients on the suites level. I've known them for 17 years now. They're like family to me, and I am to them. I know that. It sucks that they have to be in the middle of this.
The walkout comes just ahead of another scheduled bargaining session where both sides are set to return to the negotiating table. In downtown Minneapolis, I'm Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
A federal judge has blocked the U.S. Justice Department's subpoenas that had been issued to several Minnesota leaders back in January. The DOJ issued subpoenas to Governor Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, and others as part of its investigation into alleged obstruction of federal immigration operations. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison on with WCCO's Chad Hartman today.
We're talking about a very conservative judge, yes, professional, yes, high quality, yes, a very excellent student unlearned in the law, but, somebody who has a perspective, Federalist Society, and still thinks that this is not the way you use subpoenas in the American justice system.
The judge said in the ruling the DOJ's investigation was politically motivated, unconstitutional, and without merit. Parents in the Anoka Hennepin School District are bringing a petition with 3,000 signatures on it to the school board meeting tonight. They want a referendum included on the ballot in November after the school board failed to get one on that ballot. Leaders of the petition drive say the district has cut more than $22 million from the budget, resulting in the elimination of 275 positions. Finally, a long vacant Minneapolis landmark is getting some new life. The old Wells Fargo Mortgage Company campus in the East Phillips neighborhood has been purchased and is expected to be transformed into a little city of sorts. Dean DeVolis is CEO of Navarro, the company that now owns the property.
We're bringing in much needed housing. We're bringing in opportunity employment, retail, services, health, education, energy, all being pulled into this thing. So it'll be a green development of profit settlement.
The 27-acre site was vacant for years, but He says it was in such good condition that no demolition was needed. WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things jammed up for eastbound 394 Park Place Boulevard into downtown Minneapolis. North 100 slows past Bass Lake Road up to I-94, 494 northbound. Get ready for your slowdowns. Rockford Road into the Fish Lake Interchange. And you got your slowdowns placed into Burnsville for southbound 35W past 98th Street to about the area of McAndrews. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
We got a show and it's guys and dolls at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters, and it's a knockout. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it blazing with brilliance. You got gamblers, romance, and show-stopping tunes. Guys and dolls, visit ChanhassenDP.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by the Chanhassen Dinner Theater, the must-see show, Guys and Dolls, now on stage. Get tickets at chanhassendt.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We stay dry tonight with a mostly cloudy sky. We'll fall back to 60. In fact, we start out dry tomorrow. Then some scattered showers. A few isolated thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon with a high of 75. Mostly cloudy. Most of the showers on Wednesday will roll across northern Minnesota.
Right now, the temperature, partly cloudy skies, 77 degrees on News Talk 830 WCCO.
From Lake Street to Lake Superior, we are Minnesota. We are News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, another busy day, Monday here on Drive Time Minnesota, making national news as a federal judge does something incredibly unusual.
Now shut up and drive.
Federal judge told the Department of Justice, no, you cannot subpoena Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, Attorney General Ellison, Mayor-elect Kali Herr, among those who were subpoenaed. There were a half dozen subpoenas by the Department of Justice against Minnesota elected officials, all of this during the thick of Operation Metro Surge. And I just have never heard of a judge throwing a subpoena out in this way. And so we asked Joe Tamburino to come in and shed some light on what went on here. The ruling itself, Joe, first of all, good to see you.
Nice seeing you, Jason.
The judge seemed pretty irritated at the Department of Justice, saying what I think a lot of us observers felt, which is this is sheer political retribution. This is not a legitimate investigation into what's going on at the mayor's office or at the governor's mansion. This is just about sticking it to Minnesota.
That's right. I mean, Judge Schiltz in his 29-page decision, which was quite long, and you're right, this doesn't happen that often, where a judge will come out and what's called quash or agree to quash, which means dismiss the subpoenas, whether the subpoenas are for materials or otherwise. And very unique situation. But yes, what he said in this was, this is ridiculous, basically. I think on page 18 of his decision, he called the government's argument risible, which means laughable. So you rarely see a decision like this.
That's like a major federal judge insult. It's
yes. I mean, when a federal judge says the Department of Justice's argument is basically laughable in certain respects, that's not a good thing for the Department of Justice.
Some of the terminology in this thing was, frankly, it's embarrassing, I think, for anybody who loves this country, who loves the idea of justice and respects the importance of a subpoena and the ability to call people to testify for legitimate reasons. I mean, we do want the Department of Justice to be able to look into corruption or obstruction or other issues. That is a reasonable thing. What about these particular subpoenas made the judge say, this is a joke?
Well, in essence, what the judge said was this is basically a fishing expedition. It's overbroad. It borders on harassment because what they're saying is just, hey, government officials, give us all of this information, these documents. We want it all because we think you're doing some funny business, basically, with the immigration laws. And the subpoenas weren't narrowly tailored for specific things pursuant to a legitimate investigation. And what the judge did too was he brought in all of the other things that have been happening around this surge, the ICE surge, things from that former Attorney General Pam Bondi said, things that the administration said, what was portrayed in the media. So, the other part of this is, the Department of Justice shouldn't be out there all the time making these, media statements because many times it's going to be used against them. So the judge took all of that into consideration, but legally found that these subpoenas were basically overbroad and he's not going to enforce them.
Joe Tamburino is with us. I mean, one of the things the judge pointed to was President Trump's Truth Social post. And, timing matters in this sort of thing, where the president said, great people of Minnesota, the day of reckoning and retribution is coming, which was, on January 12th, Minnesota sued the government challenging the legality of Operation Metro Surge. The next day, the president says retribution is coming. And then a couple of days later, on January 16th, you start hearing that the DOJ is investigating Walz and Frey.
Right.
You say, like, all right.
Well, and this goes back to something in the first Trump administration back in 2016, which is this. The media, rightfully so, asked the administration back then, is what the president's saying on, back then it was Twitter, on Twitter, are those official presidential statements? And there really was no argument about it. We really, back then it was, well, it's just the president saying these things. But when it comes down to brass tacks, what the president says, whether it's on Truth Social or Twitter or whatever it is, they are presidential statements. So of course you can consider them, and you got to be careful, because when you're out there, whether you're a president or any elected official, and you start just spouting off all the time because on some stream of consciousness, that's going to come back to haunt you. And again, this is another example of that.
That's so interesting, because it is a bit of an expectation today, I think, that you expect government officials to be communicating using these social media platforms, but they always dodge the accountability. It's like, it's just my personal account.
Right. Right.
No, well, here's a federal judge throwing out subpoenas saying, like, nah, this is more evidence of the fact that this is politically motivated. Now, I will ask this. Aren't many Department of Justice subpoenas or investigations motivated in one way or another by politics? What is it that makes this different than any other sort of what we've politically decided we want to go after? That?
Well, I hope that's not the case. The Department of Justice with the feds, or even when you have attorney general offices, with states, they should not be political. You should not be issuing any type of subpoena, whether it's to produce documents or to have a person appear in court based on politics.
But doesn't it feel that way now? I mean, you have the president directing Pam Bondi to investigate former enemies and people from the past. I mean, it
does feel like that now. And I think a lot of that is going on. It's very unfortunate because, it's easy to destroy things. It's much harder to build things. And that's a saying that's been around forever. And what's been happening to our Department of Justice, it's just been picked away and picked away and picked away. And it's going to take many years for them to build up the credibility that has been, quite frankly, lost over the last year or so.
Such a good point. Joe Tamburino with us. Would there have been maybe it'd be helpful, first of all, because most of you guys probably don't remember exactly what the federal government was asking for. But the mayor's office, the governor, the attorney general, they were all asked essentially the same stuff. And they were asked, and I remember reading some of this stuff, and you think, like, they want all records?
Right.
They want everything since January 1st relating to federal immigration enforcement. They want everything related to cooperation or lack of cooperation. They want they just want everything. Now, I think a lot of us think, like, well, they're not allowed to do that? Like, how else do they get this information?
Well, you can't be overbroad. I mean, that's the law. You can't be on a fishing expedition. The federal government couldn't slap a subpoena ducis tecum on you, which means we're going to, as a government, require you to produce documents or information to us in an overbroad fashion. You can't just say, give me from this date to that date and I want it all. Rather, what you have to do is say, look, we're investigating that you didn't obey this law at this particular time. So we want any communication about the execution of this law on January 10th for this reason, and whatever else that you have that would support this subpoena. And if you tailor it right and you narrowly go for the information that you want, most subpoenas will be upheld.
The judge in this case was appointed by George W. Bush. He clerked for Antonin Scalia. I mean, you can't just dismiss this and say it's another lefty judge from Minnesota.
Not at all. You can't dismiss that at all. And I think this goes to, basically the credibility of our federal judiciary. The federal judges, and I think we have good ones in Minnesota, they go through quite an extensive screening process. They're extremely knowledgeable people, very not only well-read in the law, but procedure. They're not just some hack who's thrown up on the bench. That's not the case. And especially when you have a judge like Judge Schultz, who, yes, he's a Bush appointee, obviously a conservative judge. He worked for one of the most conservative judges, Judge Antonin Scalia. Scalia, I always respected his decisions. Some of his decisions are so well written, whether you agree with them or not. So this is not some hack that says, I'm just against the Trump administration. No, that's not the case.
And frankly, it's a very conservative position to say the government shouldn't be able to come in and harass political opponents and come after people. There's a suspicion of governmental authority that's baked into our Constitution. And certainly when you look at states' rights, which the judge specifically called out the 10th Amendment,
right,
where an individual state should be able to have its own policies and not worry that the federal government is going to come after them and harass them, which did make me think of a couple of other scenarios where we have had the federal government, which in some cases has legitimate policy disagreements with the policies that are being carried out in Minnesota. But it's the retribution nature of this that I think this decision, you start to think about some other stuff too.
Right. And you're right about, the heart of conservatism is limiting government, because our Constitution is not based on you have rights against me, Jason, I have rights against you. It's your rights with the government. It's not, if you searched my person right now, there's, and you said, hey, I found illegal substances on Joe Tamburino, and you gave it to the authorities, I don't have a beef against the government. I could sue you, but there was no illegal search by the government. However, if the government comes in and searches me, it has to be based on law, probable cause, search warrants, whatever it may be. And that's the heart of our Constitution, your rights against the government.
Really good insight on this breaking story. We're so grateful for you coming in to share this.
No problem.
Joe Tamburino, who came right from court. All you do is work, Joe.
I try to.
Well, we all got to pay the bills. That's how it goes. Appreciate it. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
5:19. We are going to break. Some brief thoughts to share about the number one issue in the DFL primary for U.S. Senate. We had our first face-to-face sort of deeper discussion between Peggy Flanagan and Angie Craig. And I want to talk a little bit about that when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here with a sunny summertime suggestion. This is Men's Health Month, and Tureen Dermatology would love to see the men in your life. I'm one of those guys that, I'll be honest, I'm tempted to wait and see. If something's gone wrong, if I've got a mark or a mole or something that doesn't, you're like, let's just see if it goes away. Tureen Dermatology and my dermatologist, Dr. Mohiba Tureen, would like you to stop waiting and seeing, and start taking your skin health seriously. We know that guys are at higher risk for certain types of skin cancer. And if you get that early detection, it can make all the difference. At Tureen Dermatology, the board certified specialists provide thorough skin checks. The first time I had that full body skin check, I was a little nervous about it. It's nothing, man. Do not be worried. Personalized care, comfortable, professional, kind. There are 11 convenient Tureen Dermatology locations, so you can get in within 3 weeks. They make it easy. They give you peace of mind. So stop waiting and seeing and start taking care of yourself. Become a new patient today. Do it at Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
I'm here with Alec Sherrod, a top mergers and acquisitions attorney with Helmuth & Johnson. Alec, Minnesota laws can be complex. How do you make sure you're on the right path?
At Helmuth & Johnson, we help businesses and individuals navigate Minnesota's laws with clarity and confidence. We understand how Minnesota's laws and courts work, and we guide you every step of the way.
So it's not just knowing the law, it's knowing Minnesota.
Exactly. Practical advice, local experience, real solutions.
If you're looking to buy or sell a business, go to hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side.
Hey, it's Benita. We all know how great the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty is. Moni, how did you get started working with the Schuster Group?
It started off with my husband driving to work one morning, listening to WCCO, and a commercial for the John Schuster Group came on. My main contact was Tim Sabin. They posted the listing. By the end of that day, we already had over 600 views. It was crazy. There was one offer that by far stood out way above the rest, over 10% over asking. And they had cash in bank.
If someone is on the fence about hiring the Schuster Group, what would you tell them?
To see it just blow up like that and move so fast and to get so much more over asking, it couldn't have been a more exciting and fun time. Selling that house for 20 years, one of the hardest decisions I had to make in my life. Choosing John Schuster Group, easiest decision I ever made in my life.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Where curiosity hits the gas. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
She knows what I think about and what I think about.
Who do Democrats trust on immigration? It is one of the interesting things about politics that if you had asked me 6 months ago what I thought the major issues would be in the DFL primary between Angie Craig and Peggy Flanagan, I would have said it's going to be affordability of life and it's going to be electability. That Democrats don't want to give up the seat. And so are they going to be more tempted to go with Angie Craig because Angie Craig has won time and time again elections in incredibly tight districts? But I think if you're a Democrat, everything changed when the immigration surge hit Minnesota in November, December, really coming to a head in January and February. And I think that changed everything. So the question is, who do you trust? Angie Craig and Peggy Flanagan had their first, do we call this a debate? A joint interview? I guess it was a debate. Have rules and that sort of stuff. So this was on TPT's Almanac. And really one of the first questions for Angie Craig was, why did you vote for the Laken Riley Act? And why did it take you so long to say you regret it? So today I went back and the Laken Riley Act has become shorthand, I think. For Democrats, the shorthand is you gave ICE more power, and look what they did. I think Republicans look at the Laken Riley Act and say, somebody who was here illegally and killed another person should have been deported, and Laken Riley would be alive. So I went back to look, and I'm like, well, you know what? Of all the people yipping about this stuff, does anybody even know what the Laken Riley Act is? And not that I think the reality of it is going to truly matter when it comes to what primary voters are faced with. I think if you're a Democrat, it's pretty clear where most Democrats right now say anybody who did anything to help the Trump administration effort to send people into our state and screw us over because of the way they acted, dead to me. You're out. I'm not voting for you. And I think that's what Angie Craig has been running into. Now, as for the Laken Riley Act, do I think that is a reasonable piece of legislation? What sort of ties into the topic that we were talking about before? The major change with the Laken Riley Act is that if you get arrested and charged with something, you can be deported. It's for things like shoplifting and burglary and relatively minor offense. Now, I'll be honest, if you are here illegally and you get convicted of shoplifting and burglary and robbery or things like that, I have no problem with you being deported. I do think it's pretty ridiculous to be deporting people based on a charge, not on a conviction. Now, you might say, well, Jason, they're here illegally, so what's the difference? Well, if you see the world in that level of black and white, then I guess good for you. But I see plenty of people who have raised families, invested in our community, working hard, making a difference. I personally am not in favor of people being deported based strictly on an accusation, on a charge. Especially when you look at some of the charges that we've seen. I mean, haven't you seen enough over the last couple months where a number of charges have been thrown out by judges where like these charges are just BS. They're bogus. It's not true. It's not supported by the facts. We have video that shows a different version, and then here are these charges. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what Democrats decide. Because the choice with these two candidates, we have to be honest that Minnesota is mostly a Democratic state. We like to pretend we're this purple state, but we're really a blue state that sometimes elects Republicans. Is Michelle Tafoya the Republican that could cut through? She has the advantage of being a blank slate, essentially. You have no record, which there's an advantage to be where there's nothing where you can say you messed up with this. Like, nope. She is very media savvy, We'll see, because we haven't seen her campaign enough, but on paper, it's the best candidate Republicans have had in a long time. So are Democrats going to be more concerned about electability? Or is there a reality of just saying, you know what? It's about immigration. It's about what happened to our community and who do we trust? We'll break in just a minute. I want to talk about Twins games. Tonight there's a lot of activity around Target Field tonight. You've got concession workers who are staging a one-day strike. You've got a lot of excitement about the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. We're planning on being out at Target Field on Wednesday. My question to you is, are you planning on going to watch a Twins game? I want to talk about attendance. I want to talk about why people are still not going. And is it better or worse than you thought it would be this year? 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Snap is making a big bet on augmented reality glasses. The Snapchat parent unveiled Specs, which Snap CEO Evan Spiegel says represents a way to use computing in shared experiences in the real world, rather than looking at an opaque smartphone screen. Snap's Specs will retail for nearly $2,200, compared to Apple's Vision Pro, priced at $3,500. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
Twin City Framers is the industry leader building the largest wood frame projects in town, and they have immediate openings for carpenters. Here's the deal. Large multifamily carpentry pays an average of $5 an hour more than single-family homes. This is your opportunity to work for the best of the business and make more money today. If you're a carpenter or know someone looking for better pay, better hours, great benefits, and on-the-job training, then look no further. Go online to TwinCityFramers.com and apply for an immediate position today. That's TwinCityFramers.com.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRusha for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington, now open at 35W and 494. LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Full stuff in place for East 494, moving past Highway 52 to Highway 61. West 94 is jammed up well before Carmichael Road, heading to the St. Croix River Bridge. West 94 to Minneapolis, that slows up as we move past Riverside. Up on the north side of the Metro 10 westbound is actually looking pretty good right now from 35W into Anoka. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
For the best windows in the business that are made to order just for you, an array of styles, features that will fit your project and budget, only one way to go. My friends with Pella Windows and Doors, PellaNorthland.com. Tell me, heard this from Chad.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Pella Windows Northland. Here is our guy, Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Mostly cloudy conditions into the night. Tonight will fall back to 60. Next couple of days, we'll see rain. Scattered showers, mainly in the afternoon. There may be a few isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. Highs still running below average, around 75. I think we matched that on Wednesday. Call it mostly cloudy with scattered showers, mainly across northern Minnesota.
At Allianz Field, which will host the Special Olympics Unified Sports Challenge tonight, I will be there in about an hour. Beautiful. 78 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
He's known for the slow burn. He wanted to keep it organic, and I'm still begging for it. More controversy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can feel something heavy on my heart. I can feel.
Why aren't you going to Twins games? 651-461-9226. Because you're not. Star Tribune took a look at attendance. And Dan, I wonder if you have the same reaction I did, which is I thought it was going to be worse. Now, attendance, as always, like before you start with like well, you can't even trust those. No, yeah, you never can trust those numbers, right? Now, with the Dodgers in town, I think the Dodgers are a draw. I think the Twins have been playing well over the last 10 days. And so people are going to show up the next couple days, I would think. We'll see. The Star Tribune found that through 39 games, the Twins have sold 760,000 tickets, down 3.1% from the same point last year. I expected it to be worse because, one, they had so many games in April, and it's cold. It's just kids are in school. It's cold. It's not pleasant. And I thought that fans would be more pissed about the fact that in the off season, no money was spent. And you hear about this so much from the most vocal fans that, I mean, down 3% is still down.
Well, and you remember it's down from a year that was one of the worst years they've ever had at Target Field.
Right. But it could get worse. It could get worse.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a little worse than it's been, but I also think it's important to acknowledge it's been bad. It's been bad.
Well, and I think, we can acknowledge that certainly because the numbers don't lie. The numbers are what the numbers are for sure. We can also point out that the Twins, to a degree, are tacitly acknowledging it.
Yep.
Tom Pohlad made the comments that he made in the offseason headed into spring training about, mistakes that were made and changes that they want to make in terms of how they operate the franchise. And the fan base has been understandably skeptical, the right word. Cautious, maybe, is a better word. In terms of, show me that you make changes and then I'll believe that you made changes.
Right.
But just, the eyeball test when you're out there looking at it, lots of green seats. And then the other way that the Twins acknowledged it, obviously, was coming out last week and saying, hey, season ticket holders, please use your tickets. In fact, we want you to use your tickets so much, we're going to give you a discount on next year's season tickets based on how many tickets you used this year.
Right.
So that's an acknowledgement that people have bought tickets and aren't using them. So the team's had a couple of good stretches over the course of the year, keeps them within shouting range of 500, and in a bad year for the American League, keeps them not only in range of the division, but certainly right in the mix in the wild card. Do I expect them to make the playoffs and everybody show up and have another 2023? No, I don't. But it would be interesting. It would really be interesting if somehow they snuck into a wild card and now fans got to decide, here's playoff baseball right in front of you. Are you going to go, or are you going to still be mad and stay home? I don't know.
This home field advantage program is pretty interesting, right? And the whole purpose is, it's not making more money for the team.
Nope.
It's getting people who've already paid for season tickets to
use them.
And basically you get like a 15% spiff. So if you had a $50 seat, you get $7.50 in credit applied to your next year's account. Pretty good.
Which, if you go to enough games, that adds up.
Oh, yeah. And you probably have a couple of seats, and you know what I mean? Like it's not insignificant. But my question to you is, what if you're not coming and you used to come, what's it going to take? Why aren't you coming? 651-461-9226. Tickets are expensive, says one texter. So I hate to be this guy.
Yeah.
Because would
you prefer I could be the guy? I could be because I don't mind being that guy.
Going to anything is expensive.
Yes.
Life is expensive. The world is expensive. For sure, going out to eat is way more expensive than it was a couple of years ago. Tickets to concerts are way more expensive. And it's pretty cheap to go to a Twins game.
Relative to other major professional sports. So don't at me with Aurora or stuff like that. But the major professional sports, relative to those other ones, the baseball is as cheap as you can get. If you go on the right day and you get the right deal, and it's not prohibitively expensive. Our season ticket package is going to cost you some serious change. Yeah, well, of course they are. But to just go to a given game, especially with the happy hour stuff that they've made a lot of moves this year to try and make it as reasonable as you can possibly get. So it's too expensive thing, I really don't think that's having a huge impact on why people are going.
If you wanted to go tonight, 2 rows, 2 seats in the left field, outfield, upper deck, row 2, it's a pretty good seat, $32. Now, if you want to sit in some of the upper seats, like these are not great seats, right? You're barely in the park. $25. $25 is pretty cheap. I think it's pretty cheap.
And that's adjusted. Obviously, the Dodgers are a premium opponent.
Yep.
So those prices are going to be a little bit higher than maybe some other games are.
My favorite sort of cheap seat at Target Field is like the 200 level. So this is sort of, I don't know, would you call it? It's not quite bleachers, but it's bleacher like. $27 in section 238.
Yeah.
Tonight for the Dodgers.
That's out left field?
That one's almost center field.
Okay.
Pretty good.
It's not bad.
So there are cheaper. To me, that's now on some games you can get $15 seats.
Yeah.
So texters say, I don't go to Twins much because of parking. Where do I park? I don't mind paying. Parking is expensive.
Yeah. If you want to be close to,
but
everybody's got their bits, or their places to go.
I got my spot.
Right. Everybody's got their spot, but it involves some walking, and not everybody can do that kind of walking.
Yep. That's fair.
So yeah, that's prohibitive for some
Parking
folks.
is part of it.
Yep.
Leaky bullpen says one texter. Yeah, I mean,
it is, if
That's
you're
fair.
if you're a ball fan, if you're, a fan of the game, going to a game and going, they better have a 4-run lead or maybe more by the 6th or 7th inning or we're in trouble. That's fair. That's rough, right? That's
Yeah.
rough. When you know that when the bullpen comes in, you have no idea what's going to happen. That's not great.
Yeah, I understand that.
And it was a glaring need the team had. If you want to be critical of the way the roster is constructed, the easiest way to be critical of it, and there's more than just one, but the easiest way is to say at the beginning of everybody knew going into this season that the bullpen was not at a level you needed it to be at to truly be competitive. And they've made some moves to try and improve it, and they've improved it slightly.
Yeah. It's
better than it was when they broke camp, but it's still not where you want it to be if you really want to be a serious contender.
Yeah, no question. I wonder if you're thinking about coming out with your buds or coming out with your
That's just it.
family.
Yeah.
Like, is it specifics that get you down, or is it more of a vibe where it's like the vibe around this team this year? If you've been following it, the vibes have been good. If you have been sort of not really following it, I think the vibe is, here's a team that didn't spend money in the offseason. Here's a team that says, we know we sort of screwed up, but didn't really do anything to get you as a fan like, oh, I should go check that out.
But if you want to if you're going to make the case for them, and you're talking about vibe checks, this is a team that scored the second most runs in the American League. And again, down year for the American League, granted, but you still scored the second most runs in the American League.
Yeah, I mean, they were
behind only the Yankees.
What was it, 16 runs against the Diamondbacks?
Right.
On
This
Saturday
is a team that's
night?
never out of a game. And that's what I enjoy watching when I enjoy this. They're never, even if they, give up 3, 4, or 5 runs early in the ball game, they're not out of it. They almost always make, have they taken, some woodshed beatings a couple of times this year? Sure. But for the most part, they don't get killed.
In the last week and a half, they scored 9 runs over St. Louis, 12 runs over Texas, and 9 runs over Texas. 16 over the Diamondbacks. I mean, and they did win a close game yesterday, 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's
again,
kinda,
they were down in, right? And that's what I love about this team is, again, they get down 2-3 to nothing early in the ball game. That's nothing. They don't quit. They don't roll over.
It does make them fun. That's why I say if you're following this team, the vibes are, for me, better than expected.
Yes, I agree.
If you're not following, I also understand if you're like, well, why should I be in? Texters say a lot of couples can't afford $100 for a night out this year due to gas and groceries. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like that, all of your discretionary fun is difficult to justify with the way things are out there right now. I get that.
I get that to a degree. I also think that that's been the case in other years, and this is far lower than other years. So I don't know that it may be part of it, of the mix of reasons for it.
Yeah.
But
it's always, it's never one thing, right? It's always the overall.
Right.
I'm just sort of,
it's a matter of to what degree is that a part of it?
And I would have thought there would have been more punishing of the ownership. And I guess, not that I'm urging that, but I expected more of that. And I think the real test of that comes in the next couple months.
Right. That's the trade deadline is going to be everything, right? Because I was just discussing this with somebody over the weekend. If you're just looking at it in terms of what is the correct baseball move, you can make a case that trading guys like a Ryan Jeffers, like a Joe Ryan, some other people that are in their final years of their contract, that would be the best baseball move going forward for the organization. But the organization's in a weird place because it can't just be about baseball. It's got to be about the way the fans have interacted with this ownership group. And the fact that the owner declared in spring training, we want to be playing meaningful games in September. If that's the goal of the organization, trading those guys in August, even if it's the best quote unquote baseball move, isn't in the best interest of playing meaningful games in September. So how much of a factor does that play?
Super interesting.
It really is.
Yeah. Let's break. Twins baseball on the air here, by the way. It's 6:00 tonight. Pre-game at 6. There is that strike going on tonight as well. Drive time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota Pork was so happy to be a part of so many Father's Day celebrations over the weekend. It's Jason inviting you to taste what pork can do. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com is the website. Just refreshed, in fact, with all sorts of new recipes. Whether you're looking for a quick weeknight dinner, a slow-cooked pork classic, all designed to make Minnesota pork such an easy, delicious, flavorful option. And I celebrated with Minnesota pork yesterday for brunch. Had a nice pork sausage breakfast sandwich at my friend Josh's place, Lonesome Pine in Deerwood, Minnesota. I love the Lonesome Pine, and I love Minnesota pork. If you go to TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com, in fact, right now they have recipes from Marcus Samuelson, a famous chef in New York City who had a restaurant called Aquavit here in Minneapolis for a while. So he's got some game day snacks involving pork if you're kind of celebrating the world soccer action that's going on right now. Get your grocery store, get your butcher shop. Why not? Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Each year, millions of Minnesotans leave their homes and begin a great migration. They travel north toward mysterious watering holes known simply as the cabin.
Did anybody pack the life jackets?
Under the chips.
Through storms, traffic, roadwork, and sacred debates over the very best bait, they remain connected.
Sure, go off the grid, but not out of the loop. Stay connected even when you're unplugged with News Talk 830 WCCO.
Are we there yet?
We're still in the driveway.
Minnesota summers, Minnesota stories, Minnesota's station. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Herschel Walker for 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and an assortment of other picks and players.
Some trades don't work out.
Some do. Borofka's furniture trading event has proven so popular that we've decided to offer it full-time.
We'll give you $100 credit towards the Craftsman direct price of your $2,000 purchase of beautiful Borofka's furniture.
Don't kick that old end table to the curb.
Trade it in for a $100 credit on your purchase.
Bedroom, dining room, anything your heart desires. Up to 2 $100 trade-in credits towards new furniture from Borofka's.
It's a great way to upgrade your decor and save money at the same time.
Speaking of trades, I'd like to trade my jelly and spinach sandwich for your egg salad sandwich.
Oh, Jim. Borofka's. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing. In Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville.
Decidedly different.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
At Easy Cater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. The 9 a.m. staff meeting? How about breakfast burritos and lots of coffee? Big client presentation at noon? Let's do Mediterranean bowls. Accounting's gotta work late. Keep them pepped up with spicy noodles. With Easy Cater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Out by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. 94 eastbound, the area of John Iron Boulevard. Possible crash being reported. Traveling north 52, got your slowdowns. Plato to 94. Eastbound 494 is jammed up 52 over to Highway 61. Laguna, Minnesota, remind you to slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests all year round. They're working to improve your infrastructure and build a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down, save lives, and keep construction workers safe. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Terry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Oh no, the lights are flickering, the drain is backing up, the water heater just went cold. When home problems interrupt your day, call Randy's Electric and Plumbing. Same-day repairs, licensed pros, and clear pricing before work begins. For those oh no moments, call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Weather brought to you by my guy at Randy's Electric. Tonight, beautiful. Enjoy it. Mostly cloudy. We only get down to 60. Good night to have those windows open while you're sleeping. Tomorrow night might be a different story. Some scattered showers in the afternoon. Isolated thunder, high of 75. And we'll have a rain chance. The forecast again on Wednesday. Right now, 77 on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with Karusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Can you blow my mind?
Give you a Continental Diamond time check. It's 5:56. We're so grateful to the wonderful people at Continental Diamond helping us out with our Cure Blood Cancer radio auction, donating a watch and a party. You don't need to win the auction to go check them out at Continental Diamond. Great family-owned business right in St. Louis Park. You can check out their selection of pre-owned watches at ContinentalDiamond.com as well. Dan, were you in line this weekend to get one of these Trader Joe's tote bags?
I most certainly was not.
Do you think there's a moment right now where, because of the economy, people want to be seen as like, oh, my status symbol is the Trader Joe's bag? You know what I mean? There's like this sort of, I don't want to be seen as rich in this time that things seem tight.
No, I think the people that see Trader Joe's as some sort of mark of their values, or, I'm different. I don't just shop anywhere. I shop at I'm intentional about my.
It feels
I think
like
that's
it's
regardless of the economy.
Instead of Prada, it's Trader Joe's.
Maybe.
Like there's sort of this.
But there's always been a preciousness about Trader Joe's.
It's true. I gotta say, like Trader Joe's, I don't really get it. Like it's a whole store of like store brand stuff. It's fine. Like their flowers are good. I used to buy applesauce there when the kids were little. Enjoy the Twins. We'll see you tomorrow.
Washburn and Creed invite you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation.